to the Lipoedema Podcast. We are your host, Shell.
And Tiana, and we're joined by Nova as well, who's moonlighting as a co-host. And we have a very special warrior episode today, and one of our dear friends who joins us as our Southeast Queensland catch-up. It's Lorraine.
Hi, girls. How are you? And Nova?
Good. So glad we got you on.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to get straight into it. How did you come to learn of lipedema, and when was that?
Okay. I had to look it up this morning. So it was in early 2015. I actually went to an orthopedic surgeon because I had arthritis in my knee and it was giving me so much grief. And he looked at my legs, obviously, as part of the consultation and said, I think you have lymphedema. So he referred me to an OT. So I duly, not having heard of lymphedema much either, duly went off to the OT, and she, within about 5 minutes of examining me, said, no, it's not lymphedema, it's lipedema. And I, of course, went, what's that? And she sort of explained it and just went from there. So, yeah, that was, nearly 10 years ago now. Well, 10 years ago.
Wow.
And had you been searching for answers prior to that? So you went, did you say with your knees? Was there
Yes.
anything else that you'd gone to the doctor for or specialist for?
Not really. I'd done the usual visits to the GP, need to diet, exercise, lose weight, suggestions of bariatric surgery, which I just didn't really want to do. So I must admit, I wasn't really looking for a cause. I just thought I was a big person and I was fat because I'd done all the diets, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, shakes, dietitian, and I just thought, that's just the way I am, pear-shaped, just got to live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have a family history, like looking back?
No, it's really interesting. There's no one else in my family that I know of that has it. Although my mum's mother passed away when she was sort of very young. So I don't know whether she may have had it if she'd lived longer. It might have progressed.
Yeah.
I've asked my mum about my paternal grandmother and she said no, she never had big legs. I've got female cousins on both sides and none of them have had it. I've got it. So it seems to be a bit of a mystery. But
wow, yeah.
Yeah, but because I don't really know about, my maternal grandmother, whether anyone in her family, because she passed away when mum was so young, we don't really have any connection with her family. So I don't know whether, but I have passed it on to my daughter. So we know that there's the genetics in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. At least she's got somewhere to see and benchmark for her. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and so when
yeah.
do you think it started to develop, Lorraine?
I think probably really after pregnancies when I sort of put on weight, didn't really look after myself, usual thing, busy mum, busy life. I put on weight and it just really started to grow from there. Although I was never what you'd call a skinny person. I can always remember when I was about 14, I begged and begged my mum to buy me a pair of boots. It took many months of begging and she finally agreed. And I still remember to this day going to the shop, trying them on, and I could not get the zipper up on my calves. So needless to say, we walked out of the shop without boots and I was very disappointed as a teenager. So I'm wondering now whether it was, starting then with puberty, but sort of it wasn't really sort of obvious until after the pregnancy when I started just putting on weight and everything just ballooned.
Yeah, because there's so many elements to it, aren't there? So like the different people you speak to, a lot of them, it's puberty, like that's when it hits. And then others have been menopause. Like, so they've gone through most of their adult life not knowing about it. And then there's a big majority of us who are just, that's just how we're shaped. Like that's just who we are. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose because I did like tap dancing and that when I was young, I was sort of, as I said, not the smallest, but it was never really obvious that I was super different, It just sort of, I just thought, I didn't have any concerns or worries until probably hit my 20s.
Yeah, because it's just the usual variation in our shapes and sizes. Nothing like real disproportionate to make you think,
No.
something's going on.
Yeah, because until I had the kids, I just thought I was the classic pear shape, bigger hips, that sort of thing, and you just lived with it.
Yeah.
Lorraine, how far apart were your pregnancies? And did you notice like big progression with both of them?
There's about 2.5 years between my son and my daughter, and no, it probably wasn't really between the pregnancies. It was probably after the second one when I had 2 kids, you know, working full time, got busy, didn't look after my nutrition or exercise, and I think it all just compounded from there.
And the demands of a new parent having 2 small children as well.
Yes.
You know, that definitely plays a part. So you said your daughter has lipedema. Do you think
Yes.
hers has progressed, or you can just see those telltale early signs?
It did progress. I must admit, I sort of noticed she was always super fit when she was sort of going through school. She actually did circus skills and all those sorts of things. So I could see that, she was always tiny because when they were flipping her through the air, they quite liked partnering up with her. Then again, probably in her early 20s, I noticed it progressing, but she's since had surgery. So she nipped it in the bud before it got too bad. And now she's really fit, looking really healthy, living her best life.
Yay! Oh, that advocacy,
Yeah.
you finding out and then being able to pass that on, so powerful.
Yes. Yeah. I must admit, it was really fortunate that we found out, because otherwise she might have ended up just going, oh, that's just the way I am, like I did,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
doing anything about it. But now that she's aware and she's had the surgery, she can, maintain what she's got and hopefully not let it progress.
Yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful. It's so good. And so we'll move on to like management of lipedema. How are you managing your lipedema, Lorraine?
Well, at the moment, I'm sort of doing conservative management, but I am on the path to surgery next year. So I'm really conscious at the moment of nutrition and wearing compressions and exercise and trying to get my body as healthy as I can before the surgery. I do have MLD once a month. I've got a vibration plate. I've got the pneumatic compression pump. So I'm trying to do as many of the things as I can
Yeah.
to get myself in the best possible shape for surgery. So that's what I'm mostly doing at the moment. I'm not perfect. We're not,
We're not aiming for
none of us
perfection
are.
here. No, we're not aiming for
No,
perfection.
yeah. Oh, and I do strength training at the gym, which I quite enjoy actually.
Yes, I love strength training. I recently got back into the gym and I absolutely love feeling strong. It is
Yes.
so good. So good.
Yeah.
So, in getting ready for surgery, I guess it's not just being as healthy as you can be for the surgery, but also for the recovery. Like, you want to have your body in the best possible health you can be in for that recovery.
Definitely. Yeah. So, which is probably why I'm really sort of focusing on the nutrition, getting healthy that way, and the strength training, getting my body as strong as I can and as fit as I can to improve the mobility after surgery.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation, I think it was last month at our monthly catch up, that your exercise physiologist was actually talking about like your gait and the way you walk and how that will be different after surgery. And like, so that's something to consider as well.
Yes, because actually I must admit, the podiatrist that I saw earlier this year pointed out how I sort of wobble when I
Yeah.
walk. When I went down and saw Ramin Cheyenne for the appointment, he mentioned as well, and he also said about, because I've got the lipedema in my arms, how when I walk,
Yeah.
it affects how my arms move, which I hadn't even thought about. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
will be really interesting to see if the gait and the walking improves. Because I must admit, I can walk in the water for an hour or more, easy, no worries. On the treadmill at the gym, I think I'm up to about 15, 20 minutes, but that's holding on really tight.
Yeah.
But I must
Yeah.
admit, walking out I suppose, in the wild, general, I can't last as long, probably because of the way I don't have the support with my body as I'm moving.
Yeah. And it's not, you can't go like on the treadmill, you're going at a constant speed, a constant incline, and like everything's constant. Whereas when you're
Yeah.
walking, in the wild, as you put it, like there's so many other things to navigate. You can't be like looking at your feet all the time to make sure that you're stepping properly. So that would put a
Yes.
lot of, and yeah, increase the risk of falls or thing when you're out.
Yeah. Because I sometimes thought, oh, it'd be really handy, you know. I know my mum's got a walker, but I thought, no, I'm not ready for one of those yet. But in some ways, it'd almost be handy to have just for the stability.
Yeah.
But I thought, no,
Yeah.
no,
That's
I'm
right.
too young for that yet.
Yeah. Too young.
Lorraine, can you talk us through what a day in your life looks like in terms of your conservative management? What do you do in the morning? What do you do at night? Like, do you have a regular routine, or are you just a bit intuitive about what you want to do?
Probably a bit more intuitive. Find that it depends on what I'm doing. Now that I'm only working 1 day a week, I can sort of be a bit flexible about how I'm feeling and what I need to do for that day. Just get up in the morning, depending on whether I'm going out, depends on whether I know I should put the compression on straight away, but I've only got 2 pairs, so I try and think about whether I'm going out. So sometimes I might not put it on at home if I need it the next day, and I'll just use the pump instead.
Mm-hmm.
So it really sort of, I don't have a regular routine that I do every day. I do try and find, though, in the afternoons, I'll usually getting a bit tired, so I quite often go downstairs, put a TV show on and put the pump on and sit and watch that for a bit. Yeah. Although one thing I have done on the recommendation of someone else was I put my vibration plate under my desk in my office. So whenever I sit
That's a
down
good
to do
idea.
emails, whenever I sit, check emails, do any work or look up anything, I'll put it on for 10 minutes and it makes me use it much more often.
Is
So, because
yours
it's right there.
noisy? Mine's a little bit too noisy for me to have it under my desk, but I often think when I'm working from home that would be quite nice. But mine just sits over there. So I'm working, and then if I get a little bit of a break, I just have a little snack on my vibration plate. Would be nice though to have something under my desk. Is yours noisy?
Yeah. No, it's not too bad. But then I suppose it's really only hubby and I, so I don't have anyone to annoy. He can put up with it. I don't
Yeah.
have little kids that might wake up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, mine's got stuff stacked all over it at the moment.
Yeah, it's a storage unit. So what do you find, being like your intuitive nature, you're doing things when you need to, what do you find to be the best treatment for relieving your symptoms at the moment?
I think it's a combination of the compression and the compression pump. So
Nice.
I think I must admit, because when I was working, I was a teacher like Shell. I found it really challenging to wear compression at work, and I was terrible.
Really?
I was non-compliant. It was too hot. It was too hard. I had every excuse under the sun. Then my therapist suggested getting compression in 2 pieces. So I've got knee-high class 2s, and then I've just got some BioFlex capris. So I must admit, the knee-high class 2 custom made I wear all the time. They're really useful, and I find that really helps. And then
Yeah.
I just put the lighter BioFlex on, which is much easier to manage when I go out and about. So I
And
think
how
that
high up do the
is-
knee highs go, Lorraine?
they come up to basically the crease. I suppose it's easier to measure at the crease at the back of my leg, where your leg bends. So they come up to
So
there.
the back of your knee. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I get the most pain, is in the calves and the bottom half of my legs. Even though
Yeah.
I've got, large saddlebags and big thighs, I don't get the pain there. So
Yeah.
it's probably easier. It's easier for me, and then I can be more consistent wearing them.
Yeah. Yeah. We've spoken to a couple of people lately, and it's being highlighted quite a lot that I need to get back into compression wear. And since I haven't been working since April, and when I'm at work, I wear them consistently because I wear dresses and I wear sand shoes,
Yeah.
and it was easy to just put them on as part of my uniform, as so to speak. But now that, I'm sitting around home and caring for my husband and going to the hospital, I'm like just living in athletic wear, and my body's paying for it. So I think I am slowly being pushed to get into compression because it really is the best thing we can do consistently. And I know
Yes.
because when I started, my butt shelf weight. Like
Oh,
this
right.
butt shelf I'd been living with flattened
Yeah.
out, and now it's back. Because I haven't been wearing my compression, it's decided, okay, I'm going to pull some fluid up here.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. So you mentioned that you have had appointments with Dr. Min Cheyenne. Can you tell us
Yes.
why you went to Dr. Cheyenne and how you chose him, and also like how you now have chosen surgery, seeing you've known for a long time?
I
Sorry, that was
suppose
lots of questions in one.
no. Okay. I suppose. Well, let's start with why I've decided to have surgery. It's a couple of things. First of all, well, the main reason is mobility. I'm not getting
Mhm.
any younger, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm not mobile. I can't get around. I can't, do the groceries, do what I need to do, play with the
Yeah.
grandkids, that sort of thing. That's my main motivation is mobility and being able to continue to be independent as in the later years. It was also, I suppose, a time and financial consideration because I knew I would need multiple surgeries. And at the moment, I'm probably looking, 9 to 12 month period of surgery and recovery and that sort of thing, which I couldn't do when I was working full time. So now that I'm pretty much going to retire at the end of the year and then focus on me. So those, I suppose, were the two reasons why now, because I always thought, no, it's too much money. I don't have time. I can't take that much time off work. But now I'm at a place where I need to prioritize me. I need
Yeah.
to, for my health, for the next 20, 30 years, I need to do something about it. So
Yeah.
then I started investigating who to go to. And because I'm probably late stage 3, early stage 4, I knew I'd need to have not only the liposuction, but the skin excision. So I decided to go with Ramin because the procedure, the way he does it, he does the liposuction and the skin excision at the same time, even though it's one leg at a time. So, because I thought, I don't know if I could go through liposuction recovery and then go back and have the skin excision because I know for sure that I'm going to need that. So my old saggy skin won't bounce back.
And also, you don't want to have to then research further. Like you've already had the fat extraction. You don't then want to have to go, okay, another surgery and having to go down. Like if you can get it all done at once, that's so much better.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's a huge surgery and I know there'll be, extended recovery, but I think I'd rather get it all done in one go than
Okay. Yeah.
have to sort of go back again for multiple.
You mentioned you're booked in for next year. Do you have date for your
Yes.
surgeries?
First leg is February, second leg is May, and then the outer thigh saddlebag area is September. Because I did ask if he could do it all in one, but he's, a very sensible and knowledgeable man and said, no, it would be too much. We're going to have to do the other two in a separate surgery.
Okay. So I've seen like the legs being done, but how does he do the saddlebag and butt area? Is that skin excision as well, or is that just liposuction?
I think it's skin excision. I hope I'm remembering what he told me correctly because I was sort of a bit overwhelmed at the appointment with information.
Lots of
But
info. Yeah.
I think there probably will be some skin excision on the side. So I think his normal, when he does the legs, it's up the inner part of your leg, up the
Yeah.
inside. I think I may end up with, on the outside, he'll have to do another skin excision and a bit of a scar down the outside. But I'm sort of doing it more, well, I am doing it more for mobility than aesthetics. So if it gets me
Yeah, that's
mobile,
right.
then I can
And
live
a
with
butt
that.
lift as well. Did we say the butt?
He didn't mention, I don't think that. I think it's just the saddlebags on the side because they are not insignificant, shall we say.
I can imagine that getting rid of that will help, like, just change your life once you've been through that difficult recovery just immensely in everyday activities, in your walking and your
Yeah.
swimming and gym work and everything.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping is that once I get it all done and I've recovered, that I can start going for more general walks, take the dog for a walk, get out there, walk down to the shops or the, coffee shop and walk back.
Yes.
So just,
Well, it should have the same feeling you have when you're in the water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Like
That
Yeah, that would be
lightness and
that would be I hadn't thought of that. That would be so good.
well,
Oh, I'll
next
have to
time you
remember
walk
that
in the
now.
water, just imagine that next year, this is how my legs are going to feel all the time.
Yeah.
Come July next year, this is me.
I
Yep.
don't think we asked you, Lorraine, but I'm very curious to know what your symptoms of lipedema look like. Is it pain? Is it just the mobility, or do you have pain? Like, is the swelling? Does it get bigger at the end of the day? Can you talk us through what you experience your lipedema to be?
Yeah. Well, as I was saying to Shell before, I mainly get pain in the lower half of my legs, in my calves. So I don't get a lot of pain around the hips or in the upper thighs. But I also get this really heavy feeling. So I get pain and a really heavy feeling. And by the end of the day, I've just got to put my feet up. So I'm a really, really bad company at night, because quite often we have friends over for dinner, and by 8:30, 9:00, I'm like thinking, please go home, please go home.
Yeah, serving the
But I must
proverbial
admit,
orange juice.
yeah. But other times it was worse when I was working full time. I would probably only get to about 7:00, 7:30, and I'd be like, I've got to go and lie down. I've got to go and put my feet up. They were just so uncomfortable. Now I can last a little bit longer, but still, that's the main symptom, is the sort of less pain now, but the heaviness and having to put your feet up. And weirdly, I've got my right leg, I've got the secondary lymphedema more than the left leg, so it will go up and down, whereas the left leg's pretty stable. So
Gotcha.
I do get swelling on that side, especially if I've been on my feet a lot. It's hot, as we know, in Brisbane.
Yes.
So yeah, in summer I can tell the difference from morning to night in my right leg. But yeah, they're the main symptoms that I have. And just the pressure, like at the gym, I say, oh, I can't do that leg machine. I can't do that leg machine. Can't do that leg machine, because I can't stand the pressure on the legs.
Mm.
So that's the main things, is the pain and the heaviness.
Yeah, and do you have lipedema in your arms? Do you have symptoms of lipedema in your arms?
Yes, yeah. I don't really get any pain except at the GPs or when they're doing blood pressure. That's,
Oh,
as
yeah.
someone said on your recent podcast that I saw, that it's excruciating. Yes, but generally no. But I do have fairly large arms and that sort of flop around. What's that expression? Tuck shop lady arms.
bingo wing.
Yes, that's it. Yes, yes, I've got those. So yeah, so I do have an arms. I haven't decided yet. Min suggested getting the arms done, and I sort of said, well, I'd rather get legs done first, because that's where I get pain and discomfort. The
Yeah.
arms are not causing me grief at the moment, but that's a decision for down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
And
see
you
how we
did
go.
say, was it the exercise physiologist or your podiatrist said that your arms would be changing your gait as well? So, yeah, maybe that's something to consider down the track too.
Yeah. I did ask the physio the other day, because I've noticed I'm getting pain in one of my elbows. And I said to her, could that be because of it? And she said, oh, no, I don't really think so. I think she was hinting that I was just getting old and things were falling apart. But anyway.
Yeah,
As they do.
it happens.
Wow. So you've got quite a mountain to climb next year. We'll be cheering you on, and you're in great hands with Professor Cheyenne. He's pretty
Yes.
awesome, and it was nice for both of us. So we were sitting together at the Lipedema Australia conference for a few of the talks, and it was nice to, I guess, watch you as you watched him talk about lipedema, knowing that you were going on this surgical journey with him in, it'll be a few short months, really, because
Yeah.
it's almost the end of the year,
Yeah.
kind of, isn't it?
I know. I was just
Like
counting the
6
other day.
months
I think
away.
it's about, 6 months, 5.5,
Yeah.
6 months. Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you like, I wish it was tomorrow, or are you excited that you have some space to, like, what are you feeling about getting your surgery?
I suppose I'm excited and nervous at the same time. So I'm glad it is next year, because I want to get in the best possible shape that I can
Yeah.
before surgery. But it also, I don't know, just in my mind, I'm getting through this year, and then we're calling next year the year of surgery.
No.
So I'm sort of glad that it's not any earlier, because that's what I'm looking forward to. That's the plan, is that it's 2026 is the year of Lorraine when she gets all the surgery.
Year of Lorraine. We love that.
We love that. It should be, we should all
Yeah.
dedicate 2026 to the year of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be the year where I sort of put myself first, which is something us women don't do very often. Yeah, so I think I'm going to need that time just to get my head around, well, right, this is really happening and, it's going to be great at the end.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Who will be your carer when you go down?
My husband will be. I think he's almost excited as I am because he's got a countdown timer on his phone and he tells me how many days it's going to be. So he's very supportive. I'm really lucky to have him.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Very good. Well, Lorraine, we've almost come to the end of our episode, but before we say goodbye, we have one last question. The question we like to ask all of our warriors. If you could go back and give your younger self a pep talk, what would you tell her?
I knew this question was coming and I've thought about it. I think would be, don't be afraid to prioritize your health and looking after you, whether it be making healthier choices. I'm not saying go on a diet. I'm thinking whether it be making healthier choices around your nutrition, prioritizing time for exercise or getting MLDs or whatever you need to do. Don't be afraid to prioritize your health because that will help your family. And then the second thing is get out and do the things because the things that I avoided doing when my kids were little because I was embarrassed because I was fat. And so we didn't go swimming, we didn't go to the beach, we didn't do those things. And now it's too late and I can't get it back. So just do the things.
Do the things.
Yeah.
It's great advice, Lorraine, honestly. Yeah, and we forget that time goes by, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can take your grandkids next summer.
Yes, that's my plan. Do the things with the grandkids.
Yes, the things that you didn't get to do with your kids, you can do with your grandkids. Get a second go, which is really good.
Yeah. We're excited to, hear more about your journey as we catch up at our Southeast Queensland catch-ups every month. And we're right there with you, Lorraine. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Always, anytime.
Anytime.
Take care of yourself.
Bye,
You
Lorraine.
too. Bye.
The Lipoedema Podcast 2025 is powered by Elegance Lymphatic Care. Lipoedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced in this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipoedema Podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.